In the shadow of Egypt's monumental pyramids, an empire of equal power and mystery thrived, a kingdom that not only rivaled Egypt, but for a time, ruled over it. This was the Kingdom of Kush. While the grandeur of ancient Egypt is well known, Kush's rich history has been, for the most part, forgotten. Why? Some believe the answer lies not just in the pages of history, but in the whispers of conspiracy. Could it be that Kush was more advanced than we've been led to believe? Were there secrets, perhaps even of a lost technology or knowledge, that were intentionally hidden when Kush fell into ruin? Today, we journey into the heart of an empire whose story might still hold many unanswered questions. Kush's ascent wasn't coincidental. Positioned along the southern Nile, its geographical advantage was undeniable. The river was a lifeline, connecting Kush not only to Egypt but also to distant lands across Africa and beyond. In many ways, Kush mirrored the rise of other ancient civilizations, where proximity to major rivers fueled both prosperity and power, like the Indus Valley or Mesopotamia. But unlike many, Kush had a unique relationship with its northern neighbor, Egypt. To fully understand Kush's rise, we need to examine this bond. Egypt and Kush were like rival siblings, constantly influencing one another, but always vying for dominance. For centuries, Kush was both a trading partner and a battleground for Egyptian forces. Egypt brought cultural and religious influences to Kush, but unlike many cultures that were absorbed by the Egyptians, the Kushites adapted and transformed these ideas into something distinctly their own. By the time Egypt entered a period of decline, weakened by internal strife and external threats, Kush saw an opportunity. In a surprising turn of events, the Kushites swept into Egypt, not as raiders but as conquerors, establishing the 25th dynasty, the Kushite dynasty, ushering in what is often called Egypt's Renaissance. But here's where the narrative takes a fascinating turn. Some speculate that Kush's success wasn't just the result of military prowess. Could they have had access to knowledge or technology that surpassed that of their contemporaries? Theories range from ancient wisdom lost in time to even extraterrestrial contact, not unlike the fringe theories that surround the pyramids of Giza. Kushite rulers like Piye and Taharqa weren't just warlords. They were sophisticated statesmen and builders, but were they building more than just temples and monuments? Some researchers suggest the Kushite pharaohs had access to architectural techniques that modern historians still struggle to fully understand. During its golden age, Kush was a powerhouse of wealth, culture, and innovation. While Egypt is often hailed as the cradle of civilization, it was Kush that came to be known as the land of gold. This wasn't just a poetic nickname. The kingdom's control over gold mines made it one of the richest nations in the ancient world. The Nubian gold trade flourished, fueling Kush's economy and its growing influence. Trade routes stretched deep into Africa, through the Red Sea and into the Mediterranean. Similar to the Silk Road centuries later, these routes connected Kush to distant civilizations. Gold, ivory, incense, and even wild animals moved through these paths, but they weren't the only valuable commodities. With every exchange of goods, there was an exchange of ideas, architecture, religion, technology. Think of Kush as a critical nexus in a vast web of ancient knowledge, much like Constantinople during the height of the Byzantine Empire. This flow of ideas manifested in the grandeur of Kush's monuments. The pyramids of Meroe, though smaller than their Egyptian counterparts, are no less awe-inspiring. In fact, the sheer number of pyramids constructed by the Kushites far surpasses Egypt's, and here's where the conspiracy threads emerge again. While most ancient tombs were meant to safeguard the dead, some believe that these structures may have had dual purposes, perhaps as observatories or even as repositories of advanced knowledge. Could these pyramids hold hidden chambers, lost manuscripts, or even technology far beyond what we would expect for the time? Adding to the mystery is the Meroitic script, Kush's own written language, still largely undeciphered. Despite its prevalence in Kushite ruins, no one has been able to fully translate it. Compare this to how long it took scholars to crack the Egyptian hieroglyphs, or how the Rosetta Stone unlocked a flood of knowledge. What if we're missing a Rosetta Stone for Meroe? Some have speculated that this language might hold answers to the mysteries surrounding Kush's true technological capabilities, perhaps even connecting them to civilizations far older, or, as some theories suggest, beyond this world. Every empire falls, and Kush was no different. But its decline was far from straightforward. Historians argue that a combination of environmental degradation and external pressures weakened Kush. Climate change may have dried up fertile lands, much like what happened to the Mayan civilization or the Old Kingdom of Egypt during periods of drought. The Nile, once their great source of life, may have become unpredictable, forcing them into hardship. At the same time, emerging powers like the Aksumite Empire challenged Kush's dominance. But what if the decline of Kush wasn't just a consequence of natural causes and external threats? Some argue that Kush's fall might have been orchestrated, perhaps by other civilizations who saw the kingdom as a threat to the established order. Could there have been a deliberate effort to erase Kush from history, much like the erasure of the Library of Alexandria, or the way certain indigenous cultures were destroyed and forgotten? Then there's Meroe, the last great city of Kush. While its ruins still stand today, Meroe is a city that keeps its secrets well. It's not just a lost city, it's an enigma. Some believe that its temples and pyramids hold not only the history of Kush, but also the keys to forgotten knowledge. Some archaeologists have posited that hidden chambers or tunnels may exist beneath the ruins, much like the lost tombs of Egypt that still await discovery. Were there scholars or priests within Meroe who safeguarded sacred texts or technologies we've yet to find? The deeper you dig into Meroe's history, the more questions arise. Why did such a thriving city fall so suddenly? What remains hidden within its pyramids? Could the collapse of Kush have been a deliberate act, an effort to hide something from the world? These are the questions that continue to haunt archaeologists and historians alike. In the vast expanse of human history, the Kingdom of Kush stands as a testament to both human ingenuity and the fragility of empires. For centuries, it was a beacon of wealth and power in Africa, a place where trade, culture, and innovation flourished. But much of its story remains shrouded in mystery, wrapped in layers of conspiracy and speculation. Was Kush simply another ancient civilization that rose and fell with the tides of time, or did it possess knowledge that made it a target for erasure? The truth may never fully be known. What we do know is that the legacy of Kush endures, not just in the ruins of Meroe or the gold of Nubia, but in the questions it leaves behind. Perhaps one day we will decipher the Meroitic script or discover hidden chambers beneath the pyramids. Until then, the Kingdom of Kush remains a tantalizing mystery, a forgotten empire waiting to be rediscovered.